Have you ever had one of those days, where your focus and your calm feel like a phone battery that's already at 20% by 10 a.m.? You start out strong, and then one weird email, one tough conversation just throws you completely off your game. See, the problem is, we try to rely on willpower to stay centered, and let's be honest, willpower is a roller coaster. Today, we're diving into a system that's designed to get you off that roller coaster for good.
And this is a core idea right here. It's simple, but it is so powerful. Instead of trying to white-knuckle your way through the chaos of the day, the source material says the real key to that unshakable presence is all about automated systems. It's about rituals you do without even thinking, building up your mental and emotional resilience on autopilot.
So what is this system exactly? The Daily Command System is a really practical framework made up of 5 specific rituals. I want you to think of them like anchors that you set throughout your day from the second you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. They're designed to build a foundation of focus and calm automatically. So let's walk through it, step by step.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about why ritual is your secret weapon. Then we're going to hit the 5 anchor points: the morning field boot, how to keep your power and focus during the day, a special protocol for when things get tense, and finally, the nightly field clear.
Okay, first things first. This is absolutely crucial. These rituals are not about adding more chores to your already jam-packed schedule, not at all. They're about creating an automatic foundation. Think of it like you're programming your own personal operating system for the day, so that being present and focused becomes your default setting, not something you have to constantly fight to achieve.
And it all kicks off with this first anchor, the morning field boot. This ritual is all about how you take command of your day from the absolute first moment, making sure you start as the broadcaster of your own energy, not just a passive receiver of whatever chaos the day decides to throw at you.
And you might be thinking, oh great, another long, complicated morning routine. Nope. Guess how long this takes? 3 minutes. That's it. Seriously, less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee. And that simplicity is what makes it so powerful. It just completely removes that I don't have enough time excuse right off the table.
So the process has 3 dead simple steps. First, you ground. The second you sit up in bed, you plant your feet flat on the floor and take 3 slow, deep breaths. This just calms your nervous system right down. Second, you declare your intention. And third, you clear. It's the simple physical motion of brushing your hands down your torso, like you're symbolically wiping away any leftover fog from sleep and stepping into a state of command.
Now let's zoom in on that declare step, because this is the really cool part. You complete this sentence, "Today I broadcast," with one single felt word. This is not just some empty affirmation. It's you choosing the frequency you're going to operate on. So if you've got a really tough day ahead, you might choose steel. If you need to handle some delicate conversations, maybe you choose grace. It becomes your personal command for the day.
Okay, so you've set your intention, you're broadcasting your chosen energy, but how do you keep it going when the day starts coming at you? That brings us to our next anchor, the rituals for daytime power and focus. These are your go-to tools for meetings, for calls, and for those deep work sessions to make sure you stay locked in.
And this first tool, called the Power Lock, is incredibly fast. We are talking 90 seconds. A minute and a half is all it takes to completely center yourself before you jump into any interaction, whether it's a huge presentation or just a quick phone call.
The mechanics here are simple, but man, they have a huge impact. First, lock in your posture. Sit up straight, stand tall. Second, take 2 calm, centering breaths. And third, give your left palm a good, firm squeeze. What this does is it creates a neural anchor. It's a physical trigger that your brain starts to associate with being calm and in control.
Now, for deep work, the system uses something called intensity blocks. You set a timer, and then you say out loud, "This is a command." This frames the whole work session as completely non-negotiable. Then you just go all in on single tasking. No emails, no phone, nothing else. And here's the critical part. When that timer goes off, you perform an exit ritual to consciously disengage. It stops that mental burnout.
Okay, but let's be real. What happens when things go completely sideways? When someone triggers you, or you get hit with some totally unexpected stress. This is where the on-demand conflict response protocol comes into play. Think of it as your emergency procedure for staying centered when you're under fire.
And the whole protocol kicks off with this powerful mantra that you whisper to yourself: "Their static is not my broadcast." This is your first line of defense. It creates this immediate mental space between their chaos and your chosen state of calm.
So the system makes a really important distinction here. They're static. That's all the external noise you can't control. It's someone else's anger, an unexpected problem, an emotional trigger. But your broadcast, well, that's the one thing you always control. Your internal state, your posture, your presence. The whole game is about protecting your broadcast from their static.
So here's the sequence. The moment you feel yourself getting triggered, you whisper the mantra. Then you take 3 slow rescue breaths, and you do it while maintaining eye contact. This shows you are present and you are not intimidated. And finally, you lock in your posture. You essentially become an immovable, non-reactive object in the middle of the storm.
So we've commanded the morning, we've navigated the day. Now we get to the final and maybe most important anchor, the nightly field clear. This is your end-of-day shutdown sequence. It's designed to release all that tension you've picked up so you can rest deeply and start the next day completely fresh.
And once again, the time commitment here is tiny, just 4 minutes. This is not a long, drawn-out meditation. It's a quick physical and vocal ritual designed to fully decompress and signal to your body and your mind that the day is officially done. The steps are very physical. You start by literally shaking the day's tension out of your arms and your legs. Then you do a VOO hum for 2 minutes. This low-frequency humming sound directly stimulates your vagus nerve, which is a fancy way of saying it helps shift your body into rest and digest mode. And finally, you state your closing mantra. And this is the final command you give yourself. I carry nothing, I reset complete. It is such a powerful statement of release. You are making a conscious decision not to carry any of the day's baggage, the stress, the conversations, the things you didn't finish, into your rest. Which brings us right back to the core message of this whole system. It might sound like a contradiction, but the structure and the discipline of these daily rituals, that is what creates true freedom. Freedom from being reactive, freedom from distraction, and freedom from the whims of your own unreliable willpower. The power is in the ritual.
So I'll leave you with this final thought, a question that comes straight from the source material. Just think about the day you have ahead of you, the energy you want to bring into the world. What's your word going to be? What will you command tomorrow?